Please welcome our play called Flap Your Wings.
Once upon a time, an egg lay in the path. A boy came down the path. He saw the egg. He looked around. He saw flamingos and frogs and turtles and alligators, and he wondered,
whose egg is this lying in the path?
The boy looked up, kind of back, and he saw an empty nest in the tree. And he said, Here is
an egg without a nest, and there is a nest without an egg.
The boy climbed the tree, and he put the egg in the nest. Then he went away. Mr. and Mrs. Bird came home. They were really surprised to find an egg in the nest. Mrs. Bird said,
Look, there's an egg in the nest. Look how big it is. It's not our egg.
Mr. Bird said,
It's in our nest, so it's our egg.
and you know what, ladies and gentlemen, if an egg is in your nest, you have to keep it warm. It doesn't matter whose egg it is. So they took turns keeping the egg warm. First, Mrs. Bird sat on it. Then, Mr. Bird sat on it. And sometimes, because it was so big, they both sat on it. One day,
Get the middle. Guys, think at the middle.
Mrs. Bird heard a squeaking noise. And she said,
Help.
The egg is squeaking.
The egg is squeaking.
Mr. Bird came back to the nest. He listened to the egg, and he said,
It's not our egg that's squeaking, it's our baby.
He's ready to come out of the egg. Mr. and Mrs. Bird waited. And they waited, and they waited. And finally, the egg started to crack. It cracked some more, and it cracked some more, and there was the baby. Mr. Bird was so excited. Mr. Bird, what is the name of your baby? Mr. Bird, what is the name of your baby?
Junior.
And the baby was so beautiful. Junior opened his mouth. It was huge, and it was full of teeth. And Mrs. Bird said,
Something's wrong. I don't think that's our baby.
but Mr. Bird said,
It's our baby. It's in our nest.
that's right. And when a baby bird opens its mouth, that means that it's hungry. So, Maya. Mr. and Mrs. Bird flew to get some food. Mrs. Bird brought a worm. Mrs. Bird brought a worm.
Mr. Bird brought
A worm.
a pink worm. Miss
Green worm.
brought a
Green worm.
green worm.
Whatever else you want to say.
Mrs. Bird got
Cherries.
cherries, butterflies, bugs, sleigh, and
Okay.
Mr. Bird got spiders, crickets, ants, 6.
Now, something started to happen to Junior. Mrs. Bird wondered,
What kind of bird eats so much?
"It doesn't matter," said Mr. Bird. He's our baby. And Junior never stopped eating, and Junior never stopped
Growing. Growing.
He grew bigger.
He grew bigger and bigger and bigger.
Look at Junior! Finally, Junior got so big that Mr. Bird and Mrs. Bird decided it was too crowded in the nest and it was time for Junior to fly away. So they pushed Junior out of the nest. Mrs. Bird helped get Junior. Junior flapped his wings. And then Junior jumped into the air and he went down, 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 splash, into the water where it was cool and wet and just right for Junior. Mrs. Bird, what do you have to say about that? Was Junior a bird?
No. No.
Mr. Bird, does Junior look happy now?
Yes.
Junior was happy, and Junior was a very good swimmer. Okay. Now line up.
Well, they get to do a big
Coming to
jump.
the flag.
We don't.
Everybody line up, feet together, shoulders back. Molly and Larkin, step up next to David. Okay, Maya, turn around and talk to the audience.
These people that played, the little boy was played by Reed. The Mr. Bird was played by Ian. And David was the sound person. He dropped the rock. I'll let you